You can submit your own questions at BTV. Bonus content.
Check.
Put that down as a blooper. Welcome to Burlington Telecom's Ask Us Anything web series, where we discuss topics and questions submitted by customers and Burlington residents. You can submit your own questions at btvfiber.com/ask. Welcome back, Eric. Eric was with us on episode 1, which you can watch, I don't know, here, or I don't know, maybe over Eric's head. Eric's our service support technician and OTT streaming specialist. And for the first time, we have Abbie Taikaki, BT's marketing and public relations director. She's also a big theater nerd and has a cute little 4-year-old boy that she spends all her free time with.
He's pretty cute.
This past week, we're in our new space in the new North End. This past week, I'm gonna set this down. This past week, we opened up the new North End. We had our grand opening this past Wednesday.
Yeah.
We had bagels with the mayor. We had a number of folks come out. We had a good time. We had pizza. But I don't know if you want to mention kind of a little bit how the shindigs went down. And
Yeah, totally. So, Mayor Weinberger came and we hosted his mornings with Moreau, which are usually at the Bagel Cafe. Had bagels, coffee, had some Leonardo's pizza delivered. We had over-the-top test lab, OTT test lab demonstrations. We had virtual reality demonstrations. And for anyone who is watching this who is unaware, our new location is in the Ethan Allen Shopping Center on North Avenue. And it's amazing because there's plenty of parking and it's very accessible. Our downtown location, you have to go up an elevator or a flight of stairs. Here at the Ethan Allen Shopping Center, we're right on the ground floor, so it's very accessible if you have any mobility issues, or if you just don't want to go all the way downtown to pay your bill or get a new remote control. So come visit Eric and our customer service representative who's up here. Her name is Kelly. They're both amazing, and they can help you with anything that they would normally help you with downtown. Plus, there's a giant television. You just come in and watch movies with Eric if you want to. He would love that.
Absolutely.
want to jump into it?
Do it.
First timer. You can pull from the bucket.
The question is, I'm currently on Comcast. If I switch to BT, would I have the same level of access to Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, YouTube, etc.? This is from Doug, who lives in the downtown area.
Access?
Access.
I would say you likely have better access.
Well, let me take this as a Comcast customer out in Essex. They have a really cool box that connects you right to your Netflix account and all of that stuff without having to get a separate over-the-top device. So perhaps that's what he's asking about. And maybe you guys could cover that in the OTT world as compared to the X1 box system that automatically links you to YouTube and Netflix. I'm not sure it does any of the other services.
Yeah, I mean, you would still have access to all those services, all those over-the-top services or streaming services.
Yeah, it may not be as all-encompassing as you're used to with the X1 platform. It will require the use of streaming equipment or a smart TV or something like that. It won't be built into the cable software like you may have currently.
So Doug could, if he already owns, or he could go out and purchase a Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast,
Amazon
Fire, or if he already has essentially internet-capable TV or a smart TV, he could access all these apps already.
Yep, but also if we're talking in terms of access, just in terms of availability, of course you'll be able to access all these services. And our internet that we provide is much better than Comcast's.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pull any punches there. So you may experience less streaming and less buffering on your streaming with our service than you may have been getting on Comcast. So I think overall your experience will be better with us than it would be.
That's true. Sometimes with my service at home, if we're streaming Netflix, but I'm also looking at my smartphone or I'm on my computer doing something, I might not be able to quickly download something on my laptop because we're streaming, even though we're paying for high speeds. that's not necessarily the speeds that we're getting at home. And that does not happen with BT's service, which is symmetrical, and you don't have to compete with your neighbors and their connections.
Exactly. Your connection with BT is your connection and yours alone. It's not being shared with your neighbors. And I also speak as a Comcast customer, but I live out in Milton. So it's the same thing for me. If it's a certain time of the evening and there's something I need to download or there's something I want to watch, I have to stop and think, do I want to go through a stuttery, less than ideal experience, or do I want to wait?
If only we knew someone who might be able to get Burlington Telecom services out to Milton and Essex.
That's the dream.
We will keep working on that.
All right, let's move on to next question. Kevin from Five Sisters wants to know what our favorite superhero movie or show is.
Oh.
Let's start with Abbie. Abbie seems like this huge Marvel DC nerd.
Wrong. I know it's shocking. But because I have a 4-year-old, my current favorite superhero show is actually Word Girl, which has the best theme song. It's like, word up, it's Word Girl. And all the voices are those you would recognize. I think
Can we do that again?
People. No,
Okay.
that was a one-time only thing. And I'm not a performing monkey. But they're all voiced by like Saturday Night Live people and Comedy Central, the Daily Show people, and it's just really cleverly written. Teaches kids how to use big dictionary SAT words when they're like tiny, and my kid will run around being like, "That jellyfish is bioluminescent." It's amazing, and it's just fun for adults to watch too because it's cute and clever.
All right, well, I am a huge Marvel nerd and have been for years. I am also an active cosplayer in the local community. My rig currently consists of movie realistic Hawkeye, Thor, and I'm working on a Thanos build right now.
Okay, I don't even know what those words are, but I'll
Missing
learn.
out.
I'm sorry, Eric.
Very expensive adult hobbyist costumes.
Awesome.
So, favorite movie, TV show? Do you have a favorite?
I mean, the whole MCU, I praise and cherish, but
If you
I
had-
have
That
I have
Marvel comic universe?
Yeah.
Marvel
Hey.
Cinematic
Oh, I'm
Universe.
sorry.
If you had to pick one to watch endlessly, like you only could pick one.
Now the
movie.
thing is it specific hero or specific movie or show?
a movie or show. Like you can only pick one thing to watch.
One movie in the MCU to watch. I think that would have to be Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Good choice.
Although my superhero of choice is Thor.
Okay.
But sorry, the Thor movies, aside from Ragnarok, just don't quite deliver. But Winter Soldier is just an amazing spy feature.
I just now was able to see Ragnarok after like, I don't know, it was out for like 6-7 months. I'm behind, which is, I'm ashamed, but I guess kids do that.
Just
Although Black
know that I
Panther-
haven't seen any of it. and
Right,
you can
yeah.
get
Black
better
Panther
about
as
it.
well. That very well.
I've
might-
heard amazing things about Black Panther.
I saw that 3 times in the theater, and then there's no other MCU movie I saw that many times in the theater. I think, okay, I retract Winter Soldier. It's Black Panther. Black Panther's the one movie that I could just watch and watch and watch.
I need to add that to my watch list when it comes available. Big fan of the MCU. However, for me, it's Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy.
You know what? That has
I
a
have a-
special place in my heart
Yeah.
because I lived in Chicago when it was being
Yeah.
filmed,
You're right.
and it was really cool. Some of my friends were extras in it.
I was a big fan of that whole series. My wife was too. She actually has a Batman onesie with ears and a cape, which is
Can we
cute.
get a picture of that to
Sure.
like edit into this?
Sure, I'll make sure.
She won't mind.
No, not at all. No.
Unless we forget Senator Leahy getting threatened by the Joker.
Fun fact: Senator Leahy was in every Batman movie. If you guys don't know that, every single one. Huge fan of Batman.
He was also in Iron Man 2.
He was. Next question. Did I ask that one? Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
my
turn.
turn. Let's see. This is a good one. I have a 4K TV. Love watching movies. What streaming app has the best content?
Isn't there just one streaming app that has the only content?
No.
There are multiple
There are.
ones?
There are.
Tell me.
The 2 biggest sources for 4K content are Netflix and Amazon.
Oh, I didn't
because
know Amazon had 4K
yep.
content.
a lot of their original TV shows and movies are all 4K. A lot of their original TV shows and movies are all 4K. They're also reaching pretty heavy into HDR support, which is still fledgling and lacking,
HDR
is a how could I define HDR?
Well, it's high dynamic range.
Yeah. So it's basically a different way of processing color.
Right.
Where
What was
there's
your laundry analogy?
oh yes, HDR. It makes your whites whiter, your blacks blacker, and your colors more vibrant.
There you go.
It's the laundry detergent of video entertainment.
Can it handle your spin cycle?
Depends on the quality of your network connection.
Awesome. You better get BT then.
Right.
But yeah, Amazon and Netflix are the two best sources for 4K in terms of streaming.
What's the best way for folks to find that? Because I know I even struggle with, even for here, finding just a demo movie or documentary to, what's the best way for someone to search for 4K HDR content?
I haven't found a catch-all method for finding 4K content, and I've been a 4K TV owner for about 6 months. It's just a trial and error thing at this point. I'm sure there are collections out there.
But there is an indicator.
Oh
like
yes.
When you preview the show, or when you if you were to select a show on Hulu or Netflix, right before you click play, you'll see an indicator that shows that show is HDR 4K.
Yep.
Do you have to set it to show in 4K, or if your TV is capable of
if you're capable, it
automatically
automatically detects it on Amazon. You don't have to pay any extra on Amazon for 4K content, but on Netflix, they limit 4K and HDR capable content to their highest package, which is the start $15 a month plus all the bells and whistles. So,
which is pretty much nothing if you really dig 4K content.
Yeah,
that's worth
and
it.
that's
Right.
But if you're into Netflix and you have the 4K system, there's no reason not to. All of their original content is native 4K now. It's not all HDR, but a lot of the really visually stunning stuff is. Altered Carbon is one of the latest HDR releases that's just stunning on a proper set with HDR.
Party at Eric's house. Oh, I get to pick one now?
Next question.
What famous person would you invite to dinner? From Nancy in downtown.
Famous person. To say alive or dead? I guess
Nope.
go live.
Just a live person.
Live makes sense.
Well, yeah, I guess you don't want a dead person at dinner.
Right. That'd
You'd
be
have
weird.
to excavate their grave.
Whoa, got dark quick.
Yeah, it got dark. I have to think about that for a minute. Does anybody have one that pops immediately to mind?
I mean, if we're doing living, then I have to think about it. But if it was
You know what?
anyone throughout,
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
There you go.
yeah, that's a good one.
She's amazing, and I would really love to just like have her at my dinner table and just let her talk, let her say whatever it is she wants to say. I got to imagine she's probably one of the most interesting people alive today.
Maybe Letterman.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
That'd be really fun.
Like I feel like he's one of those people that just would have just
Can he bring his mom?
Stories about
years
anything.
and years
yeah.
of stories. Like I think of like I don't know if you've seen it on Netflix, that series, comedians in cars getting coffee, and I just think of like all those like you see it, you see those like I just watched one with Mel Brooks, and I was like,
Is that like a dashboard cam of just like somebody going through a Starbucks
it's
drive-thru?
Jerry Seinfeld, and he just takes out a bunch of comedians, and they just like talk about stories of like their life and like things that projects they worked on, and it's really funny. I think Letterman for everything. I was a big Letterman fan when I was younger, and I think he would just be a fascinating person to sit down and have.
Have you seen his new Netflix series?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
It's a good one.
His next one, next episode has Jay-Z, I think.
That'll be
I
interesting.
think I saw a preview for them.
All right. Well, since we're doing living people, my bet would be it would be Stan Lee.
Okay, yeah.
Just going back to comics.
Okay, I had to for a second.
Yep.
Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stan Lee.
Yep.
Marvel.
Because
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
The master of the cameo, and just at 95 years old, and the creator of arguably some of the most well-known comic book characters of all time. It would be interesting to pick his brain.
That'd be a good rundown list of like, what's your favorite Stan Lee cameo at some point? That'd be pretty
I think it would be epic to get Stanley, David Letterman, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg all at a table together.
That would be...
Maybe that could be our next episode,
Yeah.
if they're available.
We'll get on that.
I'll just call them up real quick. Sure. No problem.
Just have a
Me and
tweet.
Ruth go way back.
RBG.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, you
hip
know
to
me.
the Insta.
New Ruth Bader Believe It.
Good night, everybody.
All right, we've got time for one or two more. What is the easiest, safest, free, or very cheap way to periodically back up my hard drive documents and media files? Terrell?
Terrell. I don't know.
And,
So that was easiest,
the
fastest.
easiest, fastest, free or cheap way to back up your hard drive. Terrell in the Old North End.
Would that be a cloudy service of like Gmail or something
Yeah,
capacity?
there's different approaches here. If you're looking for something automatic, there are cloud-based services that will periodically and automatically update your upload your documents to the cloud for a subscription fee annually. You could also do it automatically to a service like Google Drive, where everyone who has a Gmail account has a small amount of drive space included automatically.
Yeah, I think I pay like 99 cents a month for dramatically more drive space. It's a drop in the bucket to have everything backed up.
I think
I pay for a terabyte of Google Drive space
Yeah.
just to keep some stuff online that I want to be able to access wherever I am.
Now, there's a ton of different cloud. I mean, I use iCloud for my iPhone and Google Drive. I know in-house we use a little bit of Dropbox and our own stuff. And then there's also, I mean, you can also, especially if you're into media and you have a ton of, Eric does a ton of video production, I do graphic design. I use essentially hard backups, you know, just an external hard drive that just automatically, you can set up to automatically back up. I think a terabyte is like $30-40 now for like an external hard drive. They're pretty inexpensive.
Yep, you can get a 5 terabyte external drive for under $100.
I've had bad luck, so I have a lot of redundancy. So, but
that's
I think
probably the cheapest way to go because you're buying the drive once and they're backing up the cement truck.
The cement truck is here. We should probably wrap
We'll
this
probably
up.
just wrap up the show.
So yeah, cloud-based, or you can buy a hard drive and just drag and drop whenever you need to, or you can set it to automatically do it in either direction, either cloud-based or to a drive.
Thanks for joining us. Abbie, thanks for joining the show this time.
You're welcome.
Eric, thanks for coming back. Again, you guys can submit your questions to btvfiber.com/ask, and thanks.